Got some more belts in the mail last night. Those two were both pretty cheap, got crazy good deals on them, and now all I'm missing is my WWE spinner belt. 10-year-old Wyatt would be so proud. Anyway, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So there's a couple things I need to say before we start the video. I think I'll go over what we're doing, say my spiel, and then we'll just start like usual. So first off, today's video is going to be an against the world, except we're going to be doing it with a team. We haven't ever done that before, and the team is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm going to go through the NFL, and I'm going to be picking either Dallas's roster or the other teams. Now, super quick before we get into the video, Twitch. A lot of people have been asking where I've been and, why I'm not streaming anymore. For those who were actively in my Twitches, you guys would understand there is a significant amount of issues that were not getting fixed. So I stepped away, and I don't plan on quitting permanently, but I'm not going to be streaming probably anytime soon. 2, I know you guys haven't been bugging me about it, thank you so much, but the podcast is not canceled or anything. I'm just taking time to make sure that I get the proper equipment and get it down. And 3, the Timberwolves have a playoff game tonight. Go Wolves! Now, we can get into the video. Alright, so once again, here we are gathered at the tier list. Now, this isn't an individual, meaning we don't have to go back and look at their career or anything like that. Now, I don't need this video to be 6 hours long, so we're not going to go, super in depth and analyze every aspect of the roster, but in a general sense, we're going to be taking teams that I think are better than Dallas, putting them above them. Teams that I think are worse, putting them below. We all understand? I hope so. Anyway, starting off with the Miami Dolphins, and Jesus, not starting off with an easy one, are we? Honestly, if Tua wasn't such a question mark, I'd probably take Miami right now, but I'm still going to take Dallas as of today. Both defenses have great playmakers. I think Miami's defense might be a little bit more complete. Both teams are going to have great offenses, at least they should. Comes down to the quarterback, and I trust Dak a little bit more than Tua to get the job done. Moving on, we've got the Bengals. I would take them specifically just so I could have Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, and all their receivers. That is why. They're a good team. I'm not certain that they're a ton better than Dallas. I think their defense is kind of ass and their O-line is kind of ass. But they got so much talent on that offense, you'd be crazy to not take it if you were given a chance, right? Moving on, we got the Jags. I'm taking Dallas every day. They got to have, a bottom 5 roster? I'm not going to think too much into it, but I want Trevor, I want James, and I want Josh Allen. Moving on, we've got the Raiders. Dallas. Raiders have a good team. They are a good team. Dallas is a better team. Just knowing they have Micah Parsons and Trayvon, but especially Micah on that defense, it's enough for me to grab him by itself. Flip over and compare offenses. I think that it's closer now with the addition of Devontae Adams, but Dallas still beats them. Moving on, we've got the Panthers. Dallas. Fuck the Panthers, man. Fuck them. I like Robbie, I like DJ, I like Terrence Marshall. All their receivers actually are very cool with me. But CMC is made of glass, and their quarterback room is a circus tent. However, I'm not going to shit. They do have a great defense. Up next, we've got the Lions. Dallas. I like the Lions. You guys know that. I've been talking about it for a while now. But I know their roster is not that loaded, man. Could be worse. I do think it's underrated, and I like the addition of DJ Chark, though. Moving on, we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Assuming that they're going to have Tom, there's again rumors of him leaving and going somewhere else. But right now they still have him. I would take Tampa. They should be just as good as they were last year, and that's better than Dallas. Moving on, we've got the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco, although Debo is now saying he wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. I love Debo, man, but he's only played 1 year healthy. I would still take their team. I think their team is elite. Their team is fucking fantastic. But they are going to lose a lot if they lose Debo, unfortunately. Up next, we've got the Browns. God, I don't know, actually. That's difficult. I would have Watson over Dak. I would take CD over Amari. I would take Chubb and Hunt over Zeke. Trayvon if I want playmaking. Denzel probably if I would want more coverage. Myles Garrett's great, so is Micah Parsons. They still have Jadeveon, because then Dallas has got DeMarcus Lawrence. Honest to God, I didn't think I was going to do this. I think I would take Cleveland's roster. I didn't think about it. They have a fucking good team. Moving on, we've got the Eagles. Dallas. Definitely outperformed a lot of people's expectations, but I still think their offense is shattered, man. Alright, and up next, we've got the Baltimore Ravens. The only thing, it sucks to not have Micah, but the only thing that would keep me inclined to keep Dallas as a roster would be their offensive weapons. Bateman, we don't know yet. I have high faith in him. Hollywood can be good. And if their defense is healthy, if Baltimore's defense is 100%, I gotta take Baltimore. Moving on, we've got the Jets. Get out of here. They're fucking bad. I don't like them. We go over this once a week at least. Moving on, we've got the Bills. They're the best team the world has ever seen. Moving on, we've got the Texans. No. Starting to kind of think they're underrated, though. I'm not going to lie. The more I look and analyze their players, they're not going to go to the playoffs. I mean, anybody technically could after what we've seen from Cincinnati, but they won't. Yet, I think they have potential to surprise people. They could get 6-7 wins. Moving on, we've got the Seahawks. No. They're in some shit now without Russ, and there's just ongoing rumors of losing DK. Defense has like 2 pretty good players, but other than that, I don't like anything on that team more than I like in Dallas. Up next, we've got Washington. Dallas. Chase Young would have ended as a monster last year, maybe, but their defense was pretty bad. Dallas's defense, even though they have some studs on it, was pretty poor at times. Comes down to their offenses, I would rather take Dallas. I do know that Washington has some weapons that I'm in love with, but Carson Wentz is kind of a question mark, and so is any receiver other than Terry, honestly. Up next, we've got the Colts. Dallas. I want Jonathan Taylor. I would love Darius Leonard. I think he is fantastic. DeForest Buckner, obviously, they have great players. I just don't think as a roster, they are as good as Dallas. They have like 2 offensive playmakers. Moving on, we've got the Chargers. Oh, I would take the Chargers. Oh yeah, especially with J.C. Jackson, especially with Khalil Mack. That offense loaded to the gills. They're going to be probably a top 5 roster going into the season, man. They are juiced. Up next, we have got the Rams. I'll take the Rams. They lost Von Miller, okay, they picked up Bobby Wagner. They were the best team in the league last year. I will roll with them. Moving on, we've got the Cardinals. Dallas. What, you guys think you have a better defense than the Cowboys? Because you let up more points than them last year. I would take Dak over Kyler, flying colors. Moving on, we've got the Saints. Dallas. That's not even really a thinker right now. That entire organization, as of this very moment in New Orleans, who knows? Up next, we've got the Giants. It's always good comedy talking about them, man. Not a chance. Up next, we've got the Falcons. Once again, Dallas. Other than Cordero and Kyle Pitts, I don't really want anybody on their team. They do have a good corner too, AJ Terrell. All right, and up next, we've got the Denver Broncos. This one's really tricky. Both of these offenses, well, Broncos on paper should be great. We know Dallas's is going to be awesome. Defense is where the big question mark draws, because can the Broncos still be as good defensively without Vic? Bad of a head coach as he was, he made that defense great. I think for a day, I'm going to take Dallas still, and it's as close as it can be. It's a coin flip. They won't be, but the Broncos could be like the Vikings last year. Up next, we've got the Steelers. Dallas. I would love their defense, but I don't want their O-line, and I don't want their offense right now. Not even a little bit. Not saying they're ass water, but they're not purified either. Up next, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs. This is going to catch a lot of fire, so let me just say this. I think that they're going to end up being a better team. They will always be good. I'm not saying they're shit. But if I had to pick between the rosters, I hate their offense right now, besides Kelsey and Mahomes. Don't think Clyde's that good. Don't think Juju's that good. I think MVS has bricks for hands. Go to their defense. They got Chris Jones, L'Jarius Sneed. Lost the Honey Badger. They lost Tyreek on their offense. Roster-wise, I would take Dallas. Moving on, we've got the Titans. Dallas. By a tiny bit, but I still think as a complete roster, they're not as good as the Cowboys. And they lose their running back, they fall to pieces. Up next, we've got the Bears. No. Dallas 1,000 times over. I hate Chicago. And their team sucks, and I'm happy. Up next, we've got the Vikings. Dallas. But you guys got to agree with me here. Minnesota, on paper, they have a good team. They just got to show it. God. Moving on, we've got Green Bay. Dallas. Rodgers and Aaron Jones. Tanyan, good offense there. Devontae Adams leaving really is going to cripple him, I think. Defense should still be all right, but losing Zadarius Smith isn't going to do him any favors either. It's like the Chiefs. I know they're going to do good, but I think Dallas has a better roster. And last but not least, we've got the Patriots. Dallas. I think their roster is extremely unimpressive. They have some good players, but without Bill, like I've said in previous videos, they wouldn't be shit. So according to my math, I think the Cowboys have the 9th best roster in the NFL. Alright guys, and that is where we're going to end the video for today. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, you already know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, turn that bell on. I do my best to post every single day. I hope everybody has a fantastic night. I'm going to get this shit edited so you all can watch it on time. The links to all my socials will be in the description below. And you guys know the drill. Have a great one, and I will see you in the next video.